Everybody, welcome back here. Awesome Sauce coming to you here. Alex Awesome Sauce Greenlee and Dust is here. And he's currently AFK right now, so I'm going to be taking this over right now. And we've got Nafly. Oh, and Dust is actually back. So here we go. And Shazam gets a quick pick over there at A. And so now it's going to spread out. And these terrorists are all on B site. Nafly goes down. Really nice job there to get that site and contain. And now it's a 3v3.
Yeah, really well done there. Nav just kind of playing ninja in the corner. It was an A stat. They went and pushed for aggression, for information. They got an initial pick off of it, but they conceded the B bomb site in the process. But they've been able to use this quick rotation to still put this in a winnable situation. And in fact, looks like they will get it unless Toy can clutch this 1 versus 2.
And Toy, really nice position, but he does get taken down by Shazam. Shazam with a 4K going beast mode in that round, and they do close it out. Even though Method got that B site very quickly. It didn't really matter because it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like 2 metas that I see on CT pistol rounds, besides just like a basic default would be either the aggressive push in the B lobby for information, as well as maybe a duel if they are rushing B, or a quick flank if they're hitting A, or the other option is like double pushing A main and squeaky door and making that information play, as well as the quick flank behind it if in fact they're doing a B hit, or you catch some people off guard who are like setting up you know, outside mid garage or outside the boost spot or something like that. Either way, it led to Conquest being able to rapidly rotate, and Naf got like a really key frag to kind of keep it even though he was like stuck playing B by himself. So really well done, and now we're just going to see Method buy out some upgraded pistols, and they're just going to try to smash into A. They're going to try to close the distance quick with these Tech 9s and try to get a bomb plant.
Yeah, here they come. Rix does take out one with the P90. They're just continuing to try to contain him, but A site's been given to Method, so now they've got to play retake here, and the bomb is going to go down standard. And they're going to make their way in here. Shazam coming in from Highway does get one at Fork. And they're just playing this very methodical, trying to get in here because they know these Tech 9s. And Toy with a sick 2K there. Nice job there to get that done. They've got to be careful of this crossfire set up by Strever, and they do get that kill, but now it's Daps on a 1v2.
Yeah, nothing to be able to get this one. He only had the P2K in hand there, and that's just Conquest playing a retake A setup, basically, which is fine, but you just got to make the retake work, and unfortunately, they got caught in a couple of crossfires there. And again, like, those Tech 9s can be so dangerous when you close the distance. So when you're coming out of squeaky door and pressing in the quad in sight, I mean, you're immediately into a close-range battle. And Conquest not wanting to have any part of that type of situation, just kind of backs off, plays passive, but just can't make the rotation work, can't get in there and close out the round. So Method steal one and pretty much force Conquest into a double save type situation. So it could be now still 3 rounds going to Method early on in this half.
Yeah, and the CSGO Lounge odd for this game, guys, 18% Method, 82% Conquest. So those of you at home thought Method doesn't really have much of a chance here, but I wouldn't be so sure about that. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here as some information is exchanged at mid, and Method is pushing their way up mid. They forced out one of those players out of Z. And now they're making, oh, but Daps catches him. Nice job by Daps on that shot. And they're playing this very carefully here on this B side as they're trying to contain Checker Room and make sure that Ely can't pop out with the bomb.
Yeah, they hide one in the... Nice try there to hide in the corner, but oh, Nav got caught too. That pretty much kills it there. I mean, they were trying to stack the speed bomb site with a nice little bait setup. That just didn't work out.
That was a nice kill there by Rix also. So now it's a 2v2. But if you look at the map situation, Daps and Rix are pretty spread out, and they've got to be careful here because they don't know where Toy is. And so Rix and Daps are going to have to make their way into this site. Now Toy sitting in Checker, hanging out, silent planted back site, which is obviously probably a smart plan in this situation. Rix comes in and takes out Toy, and now it's a 2v1. This is going to be in trouble for Silence. Silence engaging a headshot. Gets Daps down to 4 health. Can he do this? He cannot. Daps closes it out. Nice job by Daps on the round. A 2K for him and a 2K for Rix. And Dust, they played that very smart.
Yeah, Daps and Rix combined for 4 kills there at the end to kind of win a pretty clutch situation. I mean, at the moment that Rix was able to get into vents and kind of catch that guy on the side on checkers not paying attention and pick up an AK, that just kind of spelled trouble. And I mean, that's a big round for Conquest because they won pistol, lost second round, which usually means your CTs are going to have to double save because it's more expensive to purchase guns on that side. So if you get your economy wrecked like that, reset at the very beginning of the game, but usually, like I said, set you up for a double save and usually set you up for a poor economy the rest of the half if you can't get your act together. But they come back and steal a round right back away from Method. Method did get a bomb plant there, so they will still be able to make a purchase next round, but they definitely are going to be on limited equipment this particular round. And again, they're going for that A hit. And again, Conquest is playing this retake A setup, which didn't work for them last time, but we'll see if they can retake better this time around.
Yeah, this is an interesting setup here that they have, is not playing close to there, getting close to this, but Ricks, nonetheless, is going to find one. He's trying to find more. They just got to be careful before they get in there. And another issue they had the last time they tried this is Strebber was in A main and had a crossfire set up with those players at quad, so they've got to be careful. They're going to try to do this in pairs. And Ricks and Shazam working their way in. Justin does find a way to get one, but it's looking like it's just coming into a nightmare for him. As Strebber's the last one alive in the situation. He goes down, and there it is. The round in favor of Conquest, a lot better than the last retake that they did, especially considering the situation.
Well, the key there is they actually had a smoke they were able to put on side of A main that time, so that kind of canceled out that crossfire you were, talking about. That was a big problem for them last time around. That, and they were just winning the duels actually this time as well, and that was key. And this is a setup that they're running that I see Mouse Sports. They used to use this before they picked up Nico, and they still had Speedy, so kind of their old lineup, I guess you could say, though it's only one roster change. Whenever they played Cash, I would notice they would kind of play this type of retake A setup where they just kind of leave one passive at truck, a couple at mid. It's just where you can emphasize mid more, but you're giving up the A bomb site basically because your one player there is playing so passive. But you just have to rely on the retake, and that's when around it panned out. Now Method still got a bomb plant there again, so they're getting the bomb plants, they're keeping their money okay, they're into a full buy this round. I think this is really our first rifle versus rifle round really that we've seen all game. No op though for Shazam, but it is an effect for Silent, as we do see them setting up a little bit over here towards the A side of the map, but not still sure what they're doing. It's kind of a default setup.
Yeah, they're playing this round a lot slower than they have the past few rounds, obviously, because now it's a full gun round. But Ricks is going to catch Toy out with the bomb. I don't know if he spotted the bomb there, but nonetheless, he does go down. And so now the situation comes into 3 people for Method in A, round A at least, trying to make something work. He was going to have to go back and get this bomb if they're going to commit to something. But they're just stabbing away, trying to hold these players off from hitting A site. And that's what's going to happen, I think. At least coming through A main here.
Yeah, I mean, Method getting some nice entries into the A bomb, so the bomb is going to make its way in. So despite Ricks being able to catch the bomb, they've been able to, recover quite well. Now they have a 4 versus 2. It's going to be up to Nath, and Nath has to retake. Can't even get that bomb planter. He thought for sure he'd have that frag, but doesn't find it. Sharper holds off Daps, and there you have it. Method just a really strong A hit, able to win it out there. And so it's another situation where Conquest will be pretty much immediately forced to save once here. And that gives Method a great opportunity to tie off this game.
Yeah, Justin got 2 really nice kills on that A site to kind of open that up for him. So that was a really nice job, especially since they were down in a 4v5. They grouped together and found a way to make it work, which was surprising considering the odds that was against them there. So a nice job by them, Dust. What do you think that they're going to do now? I mean, are they going to continue to play this slow?
Well, I mean, obviously this round to say they're going to get aggressive here, try to get some kills, try to see if they can't make something happen, which, granted, they did do earlier this half on the 3rd round of the game, so we can't count them out just yet, but Method seems a bit more cautious this time. Seems to be kind of sniffing it out and playing confidently just to stop this from having any real impact, or at least hopefully. But I guess next gun round here from Conquest, I mean, hopefully Shazam will be able to get an op for the first time this game, so we'll see if he wants to anchor a site with it while they get aggressive with mid with rifles, or whether or not they want to just put him at mid and just play the sites better. And actually play the sites rather than a retake setup on the A side of the map. I mean, it's still really early in the half, and I'm sure they're still kind of feeling this one out, and they still have a lot of options open to them. But look at this, Naf gets a kill. It's back into a 4-4, and a gun will be collected here soon for the CT side.
He's got to be careful and spot this person there at upper. He does get one heaven, but then the side person, which is Daps, takes him out. So Daps with another nice kill there to kind of help them out, and now they got a good crossfire set up here from heaven to site.
Oh my god.
And now it's Toy left, and a 1v3. Can he do it? He does have full armor, and he hasn't been hit yet, but he's got a big, tall task ahead of him. And I'm curious to see if he can spot Daps. He does. If he gets on the site and can plant, this would be nice, but he's got to make sure they don't jump out and hit him.
That was a good play by Toy, not to shoot the guy in heaven to give his position away and then get the kill on the site player first to get the bomb plant. Very, very smart. But now he has to close out a tough 1 versus 2.
And he cannot do it. Nafly does get the kill there. A critical kill early in the round, too, so he does close it out with 2 frags. And there's the round for Conquest. It was looking questionable there, for Method, and it just didn't end up being their way.
Well, it just stinks to see Method be able to win some nice rifle rounds, but that's now the second 4 spot they've lost to. So that's the second time where they've won a round, they gain themselves an advantage and put the other team onto a save, or at best some type of broken by upgraded pistols, and they've been unable to capitalize on that situation. That's really big. Those are rounds you got to win. When you're the underdog, and you're on the disadvantageous side of the map as well, and you're trying to make plays, you're trying to get out ahead of your opponent, and then you lose key rounds like that one. That's just that's just you kind of killing yourself, so to be honest, like you're kind of stubbing your toe, dragging along trying to win this game. It's not going to work out that way. You're giving yourself a harder time. You just gotta win rounds like that. That's another key loss for Method. And I feel like the tilt-o-meter has to be hitting an all-time high right now after losing a couple of rounds like that.
Yeah, that's just strange. I mean, for all these ecos to be won is just a little unorthodox, but nonetheless, it does happen, and it did happen. And you see Method here playing a little bit slower here. They've got 2 people posted up, near Toxic Room and Sun Room, and they got Strebber getting in there with a bomb. And so it looks like they're kind of leaning towards a B hit here because they've got Ely and Toy in Warehouse making their way over. But Napfly could spell disaster if he does pull something off nice. So he does fire off Fence. And there he gets Justin there. He's peeking for more, but he doesn't get it. So an even 1-for-1 trade there. But Daps is in sight, and Shazam is hanging out at Heaven.
Right, they're defending pretty well here. Daps just being able to play this site so well, kind of using Nap and company for a bait, and just makes these really smart peeks like that. So just go ahead and pretty much close this round out. And that's kind of just one thing I wanted to notice. This round goes away. I'm not expecting him to be able to do much here. He does pick up 1, but I think that's about over. And the point I would make is that despite the fact that this team is relatively new in the sense that all these guys have played together at some point in their careers, but as a full 5, they're only about, I guess, a month old at this point. On the CT side, they're all playing the same positions they've played on their entire careers in CSGO, basically, for their former teams. Like, Naf has always played B and then when Daps and Naf have played together, they've always been the 2 in that site. Rush has always played on the A side of the map. Shazam's always been really dynamic with this Oppo on the CT side. So they're still in their comfort zones, is I guess the point I'm getting at, despite the fact they're kind of a new group together.
Thanks for that analysis, Gus. Good points, good points. And now Method's continuing to come over to A, and they're going to do this again. This is the 3rd eco round that they've attempted to do this. Can they get the bomb down? And they got it down every time. So can they do it? They do get the bomb down, so they got the money, and now they've just got to try to hold this off, which is going to be a challenge considering Justin just got ripped in half, and they've got good forward positioning here at Forklift. And see what happens here is they're just trying to pry their way in here. As Dash is going to spot Silent, but Silent's going to smoke them off and try to get a different angle and reset. But Shazam and Daps have got to hurry if they're going to make this happen. Strebber gets another headshot with a P250. Daps comes in, gets one, flicks to the other one. Doesn't happen. He's running out of time. He's got to make a decision right now. And he's going to go ahead and have to back off and save this M4. That's frustrating for them.
Yeah, I guess it's now been 3 times that we've seen an A take like that from Method, where Conquest has played more of a passive setup, and they've only been successful retaking 1 out of those 3 times. So Method has definitely seemed to find something that works for them on that side of the map. Curious if they kind of keep going for it. Curious what type of adjustment Conquest is going to make as well. Do they start putting 2 inside A, 2 mid, and just maybe 1 B? Did they start, playing more aggressively? That round they kind of already did. You saw Rush trying to contest over at Forklift, but he hasn't had the best start to this game. He's 3-6 right now, and he's usually one of the top fraggers on this team next to Ricks and company. So it's tough to see him have a poor start when he's usually such a good A-site player on this map. But he has been boosted this round to a spot where he can have a huge impact. Especially since they did the run boost. I don't think Method detected that this was completed. And it'd also be the first time they've done it this game, so Method may not even think to check it. So he definitely could have a critical impact into this this round number 9.
Ely and them hanging out in the warehouse, just really trying to play this round slow as Justin and them. They're playing it a lot slower. Obviously that A hit when they're ecoing, but now they're trying to, they're going to come out of mid. So there we go. Ely and Toy get out on the mid as well. Strebber, Justin's holding the flank back of warehouse towards A main, and Silence hanging out, waiting for something to happen here. But Rick's just trying to spot these players, and he doesn't know what's happening, but they're trying to get mid control to split this up, and it looks like it's going to be a B split as they're going to go ahead and execute right now. They're going to smoke off B main, and they're just coming in there. Let's see if Napfly can do something. He gets one, but gets naded. So he does go down, and they're just trading into the site. What's going to happen here as they are playing it differently, a little bit differently than normal? Ely gets on site, but Shazam's already in his house. Can he do something here? If he can find Ely, that would be a huge frag to open this up.
It comes down to this vents battle we're about to see. Can Rush actually get out into the vents and help his team retake here? If he can't get out, then this is probably going to get shut down, and Method probably takes it.
You're right there, and there it is. Good prediction. It was accurate, and there it is, the round for Method. So a nice round for them. Gives them 4 rounds on this half. And for T-Side so far, that's not that bad considering some of the odds that they've gone up against these ecos, these A hits, and finally one of them did work out for him, or 2 of them have worked out for him. So interesting stuff, and Conquest is forced to save.
Well, I mean, you can feel like Conquest made the adjustment. They saw that their retake A setup wasn't really working for them that well. Like, they weren't making the retakes happen. They weren't getting the initial kills they wanted, so they played more A heavy. They boosted rush up above the squeaky door. They played Ricks inside the site, but at the cost of giving up mid. So that was a good read from Method to kind of detect, oh, you know, Conquest may be adjusting. We've been hitting A pretty well. Maybe they'll stack A. Maybe they're going to be light on mid. So let's try to take some mid control and use that. And they found the gap in the defense of Conquest, and it turned into a B split that was quite successful. So I would just say, like, understandable that Conquest needed to make an adjustment, but a very good read from Method to kind of find the opening and use it to score around.
And again, Ely hanging out there by Vince. They are going to go ahead, and it looks like they're going to do a B split. And they are going to start throwing some stuff out. And Rush is going to get taken out there as he was holding a forward position up there in B main. And so now, Daps again with his P250. He's done a lot of work, but he's going to get fired out. And now he's got to take on Toy, and he loses that battle. And so there looks like they're going to get side control here, and they should be able to find a way to plant unless Shazam ruins the game. He comes out, and his head's ripped off. And now it's left to Nafly in a 1v4.
Yeah, and it looks like Method are finally going to close out one of these, you know, upgraded pistol rounds from CQ. I mean, they've lost a couple of these this half, but this time around, they're able to do it, and they're able to do so cleanly. They only lost 1 player, so not having to do a lot of rebuying except for utility, so that's certainly going to help them start bolstering their economy. In the meantime, Conquest is in one of those situations where it's like, if they keep losing, it's buy, save, rotation. So they really need to fit in a couple of rounds in a row for themselves to get their money back on par. So this is a really key round here. This is Method's chance to, like, take a pretty solid lead in the half if they can close out this round and force Conquest to save again. So we'll see if they can do that again. Very, very light on mid is Conquest. Focus 3 people onto the A side aggressively into A main, while Method just uses this to get control of mid, and now they have a lot of options open to them.
Yeah, they do. They're still working on this mid control, and it seems to be working for them, Dust. They're being very smart about this and really trying to take control of this, and they keep seeming to doing these B splits, which work out well for them when they get those fight picks and they can get in there.
Right.
Despite the fact that Shazam normally has an op, and in this situation he doesn't. He has an A1S, so, you know, but it looks like they're setting up for it again.
Well, I mean, the thing is when Naf and Daps are playing together in the site like this without that mid support, they've only been able to even trade so far, which is going to favor Method every single time, and now they're getting flushed in the awkward positions. Can Naf and Daps get better than an equal trade this time around?
They're coming in there. Ely takes him out, and Nafly, how did they not see him?
Smoke bug for us. We can't.
Oh, okay. It was a smoke bug. Okay, so there we go. Thank you for pointing that out, because I literally was confused out of my mind. So the bomb is going to go down. Strebber plants it, and now it's Rush and Ricks. And I believe they're going to save here and possibly play for exits, but I think this is the best move for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, what it was Naf threw a smoke on top of the Molotov that was on the corner of the site. And it was still up, so he was still kind of hidden behind that. It's just for some reason in GoTV, whenever a smoke distinguishes a fire, sometimes it goes invisible. I don't know. It's really weird. Trust me, I've been caught in those awkward moments before. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then I kind of realized later that it was a smoke we couldn't see. So another good round, though, from Method. They're really just abusing the fact that they're able to get control of mid. So, I mean, the only thing I can really think to see from Conquest here is they've been prone to just trying to op it with Shazam, but once they can get guns again, you may see them try to just anchor the site with an op on Shazam while they get some more rifles and then actually start contesting this mid-control Method's been implementing. It may not come until next round since they're on 3 pistols this round, but maybe they anchor the sites with rifles while they push these pistols mid. I mean, we'll see. Seems to be the case.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. They're sending Ricks, Daps, and Rush up there to get aggressive control up there. And can Silent find a way to get this, but he's going to have... Oh, when he gets taken out by Rush, Rush takes him out. A nice shot by him, and that's going to kind of slow things down for Method. Right. And Ricks and Daps, are they thinking about counter boosting? They are.
I think so.
They are going to counter boost. Oh.
They get caught, though, by Justin, and they can't even collect the gun back. It fell up there, and Daps can't jump and grab it. So that's a bit unfortunate that one of the only 2 guns they had this half is already out of the equation for the rest of the round, most likely. And so that's a bit tough, but it was good to see them contest mid with their rifles, kind of keep them together so they could recycle it. It just sucks that Daps actually can't because of where it fell at. They still have an even 4-on-4. Zam playing aggressive in A main, can't find the frag, and so now Method have a good advantage here.
That they do. A 4-3 definitely favors them, and they're going to book it to A, hook, line, and sinker, and they're on their way, and they should be able to get in there with no problems at all. And this is a good play for them as they're going to get in there. Rush and Nafly are going to be coming from there. It doesn't matter, though, because Rush gets his head ripped off, and now it's a 2v3 retake with a P250 and an M4, and Daps, I think he has an idea he's an A main, but he has to go ahead and get in here and try to make something happen coming up highway. So that's going to help him at least know that one of the players is probably there, but he's got to have Nafly help him. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Naf is probably just going to save this M4 and just kind of work to get an exit or something like that. Conquest will be back to a full buy next time around. When you look at their money, they're at max loss level coming in the next round, so that $3,400 is going to be rolling in. They should be able to get the op on Shazam, no problem at that point. Would like to see him anchor one of these sites with the op, maybe like anchor quad with an op at A, or anchor the B bomb site at B main, and just kind of, you know, use those rifles at mid. They've proven that they can contest Method straight up when they did it with, you know, some pistols last round. So I'd like to see them just put those rifles in mid and they just kind of trust Shazam to hold the site down with that op, which he should be capable of at least getting a couple of kills while that rotate comes in, especially if he's A and they can rotate I away pretty quickly. That'd be something I'd like to see, but we'll see if they decide to go that route, if they decide to do something else.
Shazam.
Yeah.
You are right. Shazam is going to be hanging out on the site by himself here, so Shazam's going to be there, and they've got a good coverage there, but Nafly gets traded out. He gets one, which is not bad, but he gets traded out. And so now all 4 of these terrorists are at B main with Daps and Vents to try to contain this, but they do call the rotation, so Daps sends everybody over and says, you need to book it over here now because they're here. Now the problem is that Toy and everybody else is like, well, we know you're probably going to rotate, so we're going to bail. And then that's going to force a counter rotation. So this is actually a good play for them, as this 4v4 is going to favor them.
Both teams are reading each other very well in all this. I mean, on how the rotations are going to work, on what people are cautious about. And it's kind of stalemated because now Method have just kind of sat back, and it's just making Conquest kind of stew on things. But the big key is that Dats was able to pick up a frag there inside mid. So now the main advantage is to Conquest. They can leave their opera over at A, and they can focus up still over here where they last saw action, which is on this B side of the map. So they're well set up. They should be able to get this.
Yeah, the thing is they got to be careful. Silent needs to get this opening frag, and he does find Daps in the vents. This is going to open this up if they can get in there. And if Rick's on site, making some ruckus.
Wow.
Nice job. If Shazam comes in, it's not going to happen. Method right now sitting on 8 rounds on the half. They've won 6 in a row. And after the craziness earlier in this half, Dust, they're coming back into this.
I mean, Conquest just lost to 4-on-3. That's pretty rough. Really well done there by Silent. He got some really impact frags by catching that vent rotator and getting another frag on the side. So great job from the opera there from Method. And again, time and time again, this Method team has had such a tight frag distribution. Really, everyone contributes about equally. That's what we've seen in every game so far this season in the Pro League. And it's happening again today with the frags from the bottom fragger and top fragger only being about 5 or so apart. So well done there. They are going to put Naf on the op instead of Shazam, which he uses the secondary op for this team, but not the one that has it by himself most often, but he eats a lot of damage. And I wish Conquest would have just kept the setup they had last round. I mean, they were well set up. They just lost gun battles. They should have kept the op anchoring A and kept contesting mid, I feel like. Now that they've been passive on mid, look at this. I mean, Method gets control of it, and they've been so good closing out rounds with this mid control.
They're doing a good job here. They're doing a really good job on this T side. Obviously, this map's T-sided, and the grand scale of things as you look at the things on paper. But nonetheless, I mean, Method's really being smart about this. Is they're trying to prod their way into B side. They're going to smoke it. They've got Silent holding mid passively, trying to cut off rotations. Daps gets taken out by Toy, and Justin burns Shazam in the fire. So now they're going to have this site. Nafly, Ricks, and Rush have decided.
Save.
Yep.
Yeah. They're just going to go ahead and save, it looks like. And again, I just feel like they should have kept their trust in Shazam with the op. I don't think there was any reason to give it to Naf and try to make him force to play at mid. Shazam anchoring the A side with the op didn't fail you last time around. You lost a 4v3. That's just you not trading efficiently. So I would like to see them go back to that same exact setup, because I feel like the setup was fine. They just didn't capitalize on the kills they needed.
That's true. That's very true. And now Conquest is forced into a 5-9 half right now, and they need to find a way to string this last round together to make it at least 6-9. Otherwise, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble here if they can't win pistol. Rush kills Nafly. He killed Justin, and he killed Nafly. So that's interesting and actually kind of sad because now they're down to one less gun. And the match is going to be paused here. I would assume this is a tactical pause by Shazam?
I don't know. I mean, it's the last round of the half, so...
Rush mouse problem.
Yeah, I really seriously doubt that. So that makes sense. I mean, I don't seriously doubt Rush's mouse issue. I would say not seriously doubt it's tactical at this point, but it's cleared up by the in-game chat that it is some type of technical issue. So we will see the last round of the half played here in just a moment. I mean, if Method pull out 10 rounds on the T side, that's pretty good. I mean, that's certainly job well done, especially given some of the struggles they've had this half. I mean, think about it. They wouldn't have lost those 2 force buys that Conquest won on. This could be like 12-3. You know what I mean? Like, they've really done well on their rifle rounds. There's just a couple of hiccups that kind of kept Conquest in the game, to be honest. I will say, though, that Conquest does have some pretty good capabilities on the T side as well. Rush and Rix do pair up to be a very good entry fragging combo, and Rix has been pretty on point so far today. Rush has been a little bit off. So maybe that kind of hurts their entering going into T side if that kind of continues in that trend. But we'll just have to see. Maybe they can try to get this last round on CT side. They still have enough to work with. Yes, a slight disparity, but they still have enough to put up a good contest. And they do get a little bit more focus on mid this time.
Yeah, and they probably should be, but I think that Method's got a different idea. They've been playing this very slow, spread out, pretty much straight across the map and working off picks and getting mid-control and finding the way into B. And now what they've got going here is 4 people working around this A site. And I don't know if we're going to actually commit to it or not, but they're playing pretty fastly on it. They throw a full smoke execute plan onto there. And nonetheless, Ely's making some serious issues for this Conquest squad on A site. But meanwhile, Silent, Justin, and Toy are booking it to B.
Yeah, I mean, Ely's made so much ruckus over on the A side that he's kept people locked in position for a pretty good amount of time. Now, the Shazam did actually rotate the heaven. They don't have a smoke for lower, but they still win the engagement. Nav unable to get any kills over there, and so this is really good for Method. They're going to get the spawn down. They have a 3 versus 2. They have Rush on low HP. This is a very good situation for them.
Toy. Wyatt. In there, trying to find a way. Silent does know one's near tree room, and there it is. Method takes it 10-5. They close it out. Nice job for them to get a 10-5 half. I mean, really nice executions. I mean, obviously a little back and forth early with all those ecos and people winning ecos, but finally, when the dust settled, they were able to dictate the pace of T side and make it happen.
Oh, Method was absolutely dominant on T side. Like I said, it could have been much worse if they would have been able to convert some of those force buy rounds that they dropped that were like really big in the early part of the half. But looking over at Conquest, Shazam only had the op 1 time the entire half. And that certainly hurts. And then the second time they had an op, they gave it to Naf and tried to force some type of boost play in mid. It was really odd. I don't know if, I wouldn't say it's not a trust issue. I'm sure they trust Shazam, but for whatever reason, they made a different call that particular round. And I think they had the right setup acquired by having Shazam anchoring a site. I mean, how many top teams on cash have we seen on the CT side be successful anchoring a site with the op and putting some rifles in mid and being able to dictate the pace of the round? So I think that Conquest got the right idea about how they should, kind of respond to Method's mid control, but they just didn't execute the kills, and then they strayed away from it just because it didn't work out that one time. And so I think that they maybe overthought things a little bit there. That, and like I said, Rush is not particularly having one of his better games tonight, which is uncharacteristic. He seems just to be a little bit off in that half. Hopefully he'll get things together because, like I said, he's a big part of opening up sides with Rix and having Conquest have success on the terrorist side, which they can certainly do. They can bring this back. They just need to play at their peak.
That they do, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen here with this mid-rush. Conquest bulldozing. It looks like it's going to be an A split with Rush in A main. Can this get shut down? Trevor's left here by himself trying to fight, and he does go down. And so the site is given to Conquest. Conquest is going to fight up close and try to cut this off, but nonetheless, a lot of chaos is going on here. Silent fighting Nafly. Nobody died there. Interesting. Nonetheless, they're still fighting, and now it's a 2v2, and they've got to slow this down and make this work here. Silent coming in here, trying to make it happen. Rush gets him, and now it's Justin. He gets silent. Can he do this? This would be absolutely huge for this team. He does know he's there. He's got a kit. I don't know if Shazam knows that. It doesn't matter because he hits him in the face with a Glock, and it's over.
I'm surprised Justin didn't at least keep vision on A-Main while he was defusing to, like, see if Shazam was peeking him or not. Just tried to stick it out. I guess he didn't really have enough time to keep playing the fake defuse game with Shazam either, so I guess it didn't really matter. But that's a big round to win for Conquest. To get the pistol after having a tough first half, conceding 10 rounds, just gets you right back into the game. Especially if they can avoid, like, losing to some type of force buy from Method. But Method, surprisingly, doesn't really invest that much. Usually it's like a given that everyone's going to, like, upgrade pistol and armor up or maybe even get a scout involved. But they are pretty conservative with what they decide to do with this second round. So they're not really going to pose a threat this round or the next, to be honest. So this should be, if things work out to what you expect, you know, an 8-10 half going forward into the first gun round. Still in favor of Method, but Conquest, you know, creeping back into the game.
Fly's gonna fight. He does take out Strebber there, so that was a nice kill for them, and they're forcing their way onto this A site very quickly. Ricks coming out, goes down, and now it's a 3v3. Justin's got 2 health, though. This is a problem for them. If he gets naded, pretty much breathed on, he's going to fall. Silent's got a good place. He does spot one. He gets Shazam. This is a huge kill for him. Can they find a way to make it happen? Rush is saying, no, it's not going to happen. And Toy's coming out of A-Main. He's got a lot of work to do and not much time. He does not have a kit. Rush and him about to see each other. And he goes down. So Conquest, like you said, they got this round. No crazy eco antics here. And they get the round.
Well, it's pretty expensive, though. I mean, they lost 3 players on the round. It's a lot of rebuying that has to take place now. You can even see Daps, like, buying only a Mac 10 because he kind of realizes the money situation. It's also smart to get the Mac 10 for the money bonus as well, since you know your opponent's still going to be on pistols. So, really good idea not to get too crazy with the buys here. But the point is that now Method could immediately force Conquest into a broken buy or safe situation if they can win the opening gun round, just because of how much damage they did to Conquest that round. So that sets them up a good long term. And yeah, Dat's putting that Mac 10 to work, getting that money bonus, very well done. As Conquest look to get a more clean win this time around.
And they've already got it down to a 5v1. Ricks goes down, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. 4 people survive. Like you said, a lot cleaner. They got in there. Daps with that Mac 10 kill at B, and then all the other players at A site going down. So, you know, really nice job playing it, you know, not super fast, but fast enough to make sure that Method couldn't get in any corners.
And you can look at the numbers there on Rush as we're looking at his screen, already just doing so much better compared to first half. Like, he's already closing in on the amount of kills he got the entire first half in 3 rounds played here on the T side. Of course, some of that was, you know, eco mop-ups, don't get me wrong, but that at least might give him some confidence. Like, he's getting some kills, he's getting back into the game. They are going to go for a heavy A hit in the first rifle round, and like I said, Ricks and Rush are going to be coming out of A-Main. They're the ones that are going to be the ones to try to open up this site, and we'll see if they can do it.
Now they're going to flush out of here very quickly. If they can get these frags and open this up, they could get in there. Trevor's trying to ruin their day, and he gets one. So now it's a 3v3, and this is a good job by them getting into the site. People still alive, but they've got to be careful here because they've got to cover these people coming out of highway. And Silent should be able to hopefully see Ricks up there. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's going to see him. Jump spots in there, and now Ricks is trying to ruin everybody's day, and he does get 2. Can he get more? No, Daps does, but Rick's literally single-handedly wreaking havoc on Method right there.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Conquest had a great opening, got themselves in a 3v3 post plant, so they're already at the advantage. But what Ricks did pretty much sealed the deal. Surprised he got away with that. I mean, he made some noise shooting at Silent from the balcony, but both the highway players had, like, no response. In fact, there's a guy climbing up the ladder that didn't even pay any mind to the fact that Ricks was up there. Ricks pretty much got 2 free kills out of that, so that looked a little bit wonky. I don't know if there was just no call that happened or people were confused where the shots were coming from, but that was pretty big. And now Conquest have Method onto a safe and a really, really good chance to just go ahead and tie this game up now.
Nice kill there by Nafly, hanging out. Oh, Ricks, and he does spot him. He goes for the other one, but Justin takes him out. Justin gets 2 with a P250, so that was a nice job by him. And now it's Toy in a 1v3 with a 5-7, so really going to have a lot of work ahead of him. But Justin, those 2 kills are going to make it costly on Conquest, and I can hear Conquest talking. They're not happy about that.
No, not at all. I mean, luckily they still have plenty banked up. I mean, Shazam's almost at 10K, Rush is at 8K, so they're not going to suffer too much from losing 2 players. They'll still be able to, you know, replenish themselves and be good to go. This will be a key round, though, for Method. They need to kind of secure this round. I mean, they're at maximum loss bonus, yes, of 3,400, but it's a situation where like only 2 people are really going to have money next round if this doesn't work out. So they could be right back to saving if they lose this one and Conquest goes up 12-10 and you just lost all that ground you gained in the first half. So this is a really key round for Method to kind of, you know, balance things out again, you know, keep this game tight, keep themselves in a winning position. And so we do see Conquest again staging up a bit over here towards the A side of the map. Daps is kind of lurking over here towards mid. Rush is playing solo over towards B, so a little bit different. You know, Naf is playing his same position, but they're kind of using Rush sometimes entry and sometimes to kind of just solo hold position. So not really like super well-defined roles on Conquest. They kind of float around.
Yeah, they do. And it caters to them in certain situations, obviously with the kind of play that the kind of style that Method plays. And yeah, this is a good idea. And they're playing very passive here. Man, they've got 1 on each site, and they're anchoring at least according to what Conquest is trying to do right now. Shazam, Daps, and Ricks are going to come out of A, and they should be able to flood this site very quickly and catch Trevor off guard, but see what happens here is they're going to force their way in here, pretty much brute force, and force Strebber out of here. But Strebber's got a nice position at quad, and he does go down, though he didn't even get a kill. But look at these players for Conquest. 18-7, 17 health, 18 health, 32 health. I mean, these guys are tagged so heavy, and Method does not know that. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter, as they are going to save these M4s. And I think that this is the best decision for them. They've lost 5 rounds in a row. It's about to be 6.
Yeah, I mean, if they can save these 2 M4s, they could theoretically put together a buy next round because Justin will actually have over 5K to be able to, like, buy himself as well. And that's a nice exit to get if you're silent, to keep that play in mind. As long as he can hold on to this, they'll still be okay next round. And he just keeps getting these exits. Naf is next on the chopping block, low on HP as well. It's trying to find him also, and he does in silent, getting a quad kill. Doing a little stat padding over there on that side of the map. But most importantly, saving a gun to give his team a chance to actually get a buy in this round. Without these 2 guns being saved, it would have pretty much been like a forest fire eco situation. Now they still have a full gun round on their hands. But still, well done by Conquest, getting into this A bomb site, opening it up quite well. Their entry fraggers are really stepping in. Rush has really picked his game up compared to the first half. He's really done well. He's getting a lot out of the rest of the players also. So this is still, you know, quite a good half for Conquest thus far.
Half-Fly hanging out there at Squeaky, trying to spot those players. I don't think he saw them, and if he did, he didn't really let them know. Where's Silent at right now? Silent's okay. Silent's over there, keeping an eye on B side, so that's okay. That's fine. But what's Strebber and Justin doing? They're falling back here into this A side a little bit. You know, it's pretty standard here. Obviously, it looks like Conquest is wanting to do an A hit here, Dust. And if that's the case, they're going to have Ely with eyes on it as well. They're playing this very slow and methodical. I think this is the smartest way for them to play it right now, as they've gotten 6 rounds in a row already.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very A-heavy team, but they're also looking to do some type of late mid action here. They did boost up. I believe that is Ricks, so he will come late up highway to try to cut off some rotation. So, and they also have Rush coming out mid-garage as well. So they're putting kind of their 2 entry fraggers more over towards mid as Rush does begin to creep up highway, and Ricks is right behind him. So they're adding a little bit of a new element. It's still going to be an A hit, but they're adding another route to it. And so how that pans out looks pretty good so far.
Ricks and Nafly do get some interesting frags into the side, and that's going to force Method, pretty much shattered, to have to save again. And that's got to be just infuriating, Dust, for this team to be like, oh yeah, maybe we got a chance, and then they get smoked on A side.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Conquest has been so successful at hitting the A bomb site, very similar to what Method was doing the Conquest in the first half, that it softened up mid. People were wanting to kind of get more heavy inside the site and kind of just be passive on mid. And that gives Ricks and Rush an opening to then come up mid and play highway uncontested. And like I said, just add a new element to the A hit. So it's a similar, you know, tactic, but they're adding a tweak to it that gets them a bit more out of it, keeps it going, so to speak. And now we are going to see a pause. I have to guess that this is a tactical timeout for Method, although I can't see the in-game chat to know for sure, but this would be a good moment to bring it out and be like, okay, guys, what do we got to do? They're killing us at mid and A. Like, what do we need to do to keep our B defense in place just in case they hit B, but be able to contest this mid to A better?
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what Toy. I see the chat. I don't see anybody talking right now, but nonetheless, I think that's what Toy's doing. I mean, they've got okay money, definitely not great. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. It looks like they are going to have Justin buy an M4 as well, and they are going to do something with that. I'm a little curious, though. Justin and it is buying right now, but nobody else has, so I think they're just trying to figure it out. And I think when your method, you've got to say, okay, like, clearly this is not working. What can we do to fix this? And I'm curious to see is what they're going to do here.
I feel like Justin Snapbot. There's no reason for him to buy an M4 by himself here.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, what the heck's going on? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I get the point of like upgrading pistols and giving one person a rifle to make a play, but he just didn't have the money to do that. I mean, if he loses this round, next round everyone else is ready to buy, he's not going to be able to. And it's not like you're so far down that you have to take a risk like this. You're only 2 rounds down. Yeah, 3 rounds down if you lose this one, but I mean, still, you get a full buy next round with 13-10, you make your play. So this is a little bit odd, but we'll see what comes of it.
And Rick's hanging out there with that P90 and A main Streber, as you can see here, hanging out by this smoke. Ely does bring Rush down, so that was a nice kill, and I don't know if he spotted the bomb or not. He may have, and now he's going to be fighting Rick's up there, boosted up in mid, and he does go down. He hit him once, I believe. And they're playing this slowly as Silent, and the method's just getting so aggressive trying to take these 1vx fights, and they're not able to do it. As Streber's probably going to get caught out here at A side unless he does some miraculous stuff here as Justin and Toy are told to rotate. He goes down with his back turned to Ricks, and that P90. And Method has to try to come in here and do some miraculous work. Justin left by himself. He gets one. And I guess if you wanted one person alive, you'd have him. I think he is going to have to save this, as obviously if he died, he only had $450, and
yeah,
he did get one, but they've got to be living.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really have too much invested in this round besides the M4 of Justin, so it's always going to be tough to try to convert it, and at least he's able to get away and say this M4 for next round, and everyone else has the money to buy up. So it wound up actually being, I mean, it was a risky buy for him to just buy an M4 by himself, but the way things played out, it didn't hurt him too much because he still has it for this next round, and everyone else will also be, you know, up to par with him with M4s themselves, or maybe they even get an op-out on the Silent. They have enough money to do so. You would think they do eventually get it done, and that's maybe something they can consider doing, is putting that op, anchoring it in the A bomb site, getting those rifles mid to contest it, make sure that they can't get any mid control from Conquest, and also be able to quick rotate up highway. The only thing they need to worry about is we have seen Conquest spending a lot of Molotovs and stuff in that fence corner and quad to flush an opper out. So it's kind of tough to anchor at that point when they're forcing you out of position like that.
And they're playing a 2-1-2 split here as Method is, and they are trying to find a way to get one round. What'd you say, guys? I'm sorry.
There was a run boost that took place, but I'm pretty sure Nav heard it while I was in Squeaky Hall. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't even hear what you said at first. I was like, I was like, what? But nonetheless, that's interesting. And what's going to happen here?
Yeah, Rush knows he's up there. Look at him. He's aiming up as he came to the corner. They know that guy's boosted.
Oh, no. This could spell disaster for Method as he's going to get fired off. And now Silent gets torched alive. And this site is going to open up for this Conquest squad as they are on a roll right now, and Method just cannot find anything here in any traction. They have lost a total but I believe this will be your 9th round in a row coming up. I mean, this is a nightmare.
That round was lost on one sound cue. AwesomeSauce. Literally.
That's devastating.
Yeah, I mean, they just took a little bit too long to get that run boost going. Naf was in Squeaky Hall very, very quickly. He had a good spawn. He ran straight to it. They took a little bit longer than usual to get the run boost to work, and Naf heard it. He knew it was up. They isolated that player on boost. They smoked out his support. They took a duel on him, got him down, and they killed his support immediately afterwards, and that's the round. Basically, just all off that one little sound cue. So some of the most subtle things can ruin a whole round. You know, one sound, one off smoke. I mean, just little things like that can ruin everything, and did that round. Really, really good for Conquest to get that information and make the perfect call afterwards.
Yeah, Conquest has got to be flying high. And, you know, it's amazing to think this game is, I think, a game that we all love, obviously, as we're here and everybody's watching here, almost 10,000 people. But also another thing to notice is just like one sound can change so much so quickly. And I think that is why we love this game and why everything is happening. But nonetheless, Shazam takes out Silent. So there's the op duel. Does go down. And so Silent has got to be shaking his head right now.
I think that's the only op duel we've seen this entire game. The like op versus op.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So that's kind of funny that we're this late in the game and that matchup finally occurs, and Shazam is the victor of that one occasion. As CQ again just taken to the A bomb site. This time they threw a good amount of attention at B though to kind of hold the rotate off, and so now it's Conquest putting themselves at map point. Method have to save this op and M4 to be able to have anything to work with next round. So yeah, are they even going to be able to do it though? Either get caught out.
This is just not good. I don't know how I can say this in like the most professional way possible, but they've lost 10 rounds in a row. They haven't got any traction, and now they're on map point, and they've got to be going, well, you know, okay.
This
what could they do? What could they do here? I mean, do they set like 4 mid just to try to rush up and get some aggressive picks mid and try to reset? I mean, what do you do?
Place I don't know, man. I mean they're double opping this time, so this is new. Anchor the sights with each op and put some rifles in mid.
No, they're not even doing that.
Well, Ford's anchoring E with his op, and they did put a couple of rifles in mid, but they were separated. Justin couldn't help his teammate out there, and so CQ win that duel, getting out into mid, but it is still an even situation. But Shazam on point with the op, and I mean Method haven't won a round this entire half. I mean they were up 10-5. They looked so sharp, and then all of a sudden Conquest comes right back at him. And I did mention that Conquest can be quite a good T-side team. They have a good ensuring duo at Rush and Ricks. They have Shazam being able to open up things with the op. They're a team capable of coming back in that situation, but at the same time, you expect Method to put up a bit of a better fight, and so far they have struggled so much. But we'll see if they can get these 5 rounds in a row and force an OT.
Sandbags getting mollied out there, so that gives Justin some information. Is that person, he saw the trajectory, so he's going to guess that person's boosted, and all 3 of these players are going to flood. Oh, Rush, did he spot him? He did. He spotted Justin and Z's. He's got a bail, and there he goes. He's going to book it to B and guess. Flips a coin. Now Trevor's about to meet his demise as he goes down an F-fly, and this site opens up for Conquest. Can they get in there, and can Rush cut this like rotation off? And if he can do this, it's going to be map in favor of Conquest.
Indeed it is, as the op will come around highway. Justin at the truck jumps up, sees over the smoke, grabs a kill onto Nap, but now it's all up to Justin. 1 versus 2 at the M4 here at the truck. Shazam quad. Rush has got the crossfire, but I don't think the bomb is planted where Rush can see it. So Shazam went down, it was over, but Shazam does not. He stands up, he gets the kill, and really, really well done there from Conquest. I mean, they just had such a dominant T side. They were coming into A. They were winning their duels. They were doing great work. There was a couple of unlucky moments for Method, like, for example, them doing the run boost onto the on the A bomb site and it being heard by NAF, and then they just got completely hard countered because of that sound cue. So that was a bit unlucky on the timing, but there was also some really just key rounds where they just straight up lost the gunfights. You know, they had people in position, but they couldn't outfrag the entering of Conquest. And so there you have it. Conquest run 11 rounds in a row after having a really tough first half on their CT side, and they win the game. Incredible stuff from Conquest, but also Method just not figuring things out on their CT side. That's tough when you have such a big lead from your terrorist side cash and you can't close the game or even be competitive in the second half, for that matter. Yeah,
that it's frustrating for them. And now they've got to be thinking about this map Train, and they have not played Train. Both these teams have not played Train on CEVO this entire season. Dust, obviously, you're a more knowledgeable person in the scene than I am, as far because you've been here for a long time. If you were going to take a guess as to how these teams are going to play it, are they going to play it like really loose? Are they going to play loose style, or do they have predefined strats that they're going to implement?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, like I said, this is a map where I've only seen these two teams outside of our league. They haven't played in our league at all. As you mentioned, outside of our league, they've only played it a couple of times against similar opponents where, you know, they both had equal results, which is they haven't gotten any wins on this map yet. So someone's about to get their first win as a 5 on Train tonight. That's just who is it going to be. I would say that in the games that I've seen, despite the fact that they were all losses for both these teams, it seemed like Conquest had a little bit better showing on the map, like being a bit more competitive against their opponents on the map. Whereas for Method, their losses seemed a bit more lopsided. But they do get the advantage of having CT side first this game. And usually train does sway a bit CT sided. So we'll just have to see if that holds true. But we will just take a quick break while we set up for the second map of the night. Stay tuned.